of the LG Quantum, which is a Windows Phone 7 phone on the AT&T network in the United States. So I got one of these phones directly from LG, which I really appreciate. Shout out to Korea, South Korea. Thank you so much for sending me one of these phones. It's always nice to have someone want you to take a look at their product. So let's crack it open. Let's get started. So the LG Quantum, big feature, slide out keyboard. Boom, there you go. Nice big keyboard. I'll be interested to see how much I use this. I really like the fact that there's an emoticon key. I use a lot of emoticons when I write emails and text. So yeah, dig it. Now, here's the back. As you can tell, it's missing. Oh, there we go. So there's the back. So we'll put that down for the moment, and we'll take a look at what else is in the box. Although, here, this is my public service message. Texting and driving, it can wait. Yeah, I think when I see someone that's texting while they're driving, I want to run them off the road. I think they're complete tools. So yeah, if you want to send text, man, pull over, send your text, put your phone away, and get back on the road. Don't be a douchebag. There we go. That is the public service announcement. So, comes with a set of headphones. It uses the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which is fantastic. I'm really glad that Microsoft standardized on this type of a plug for Windows Phone 7 devices, because what this means, of course, is that you can use your favorite headphones. It uses a standard plug. You do not have to use the 2.5 millimeter headphones or some sort of weird proprietary thing. So yeah, cool to see some headphones in here. We have the just a standard USB wall charger here. So you plug a USB cable in here. So for example, this is the USB cable here. Oh, and before I forget, because I might forget, I actually have two of these phones. One is going to be mine to review for a little while. The other one, giveaway. Yeah, so make sure you pay attention to this YouTube channel. In fact, you might as well subscribe to it right now, because if you want to win an LG Quantum phone, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. So this is a micro USB plug that Microsoft uses. This is an industry standard plug. It's basically excuse me, the upgraded version of a micro USB, sorry, a mini USB. And it looks like on the Quantum, where do you plug it in? Okay, so it looks like you plug it in up here on the side. That's okay. I would have been happier if it was on the bottom. I'm really a big fan of phones that you can put in a dock and kind of, leave it beside your computer. You can charge it up and things like that. So yeah, I kind of wish it was on the bottom, but it's not the end of the world. So let's just move this out of the way here. Now you'll notice something if you've already watched my Samsung Focus unboxing video. You'll notice that there's actually not any exposed memory card here. So yeah, I don't see anything. If I were to guess, and maybe I'll be brave later and take a little screwdriver, maybe if I look under this panel, there might be a micro SD card slot there. But if you've already watched my Samsung Focus video, part 2, which you definitely should, because, well, you guys love me so much, you want to watch my videos, you'll know that I actually had a lot of trouble with the memory card. Yeah, now, this is a 1500 milliamp battery, so it's a decently sized battery. I'm going to go ahead and peel off this plastic cover here. Now, I don't know if this battery, excuse me, has a charge, but we'll go ahead and boot it up, and if we're lucky, maybe it will. How does this go on here? Click, clickety click, clickety click. All right, let's talk about some of the specs on the LG Quantum. I have my handy dandy little spec sheet here. So, talk time up to 6 hours. Standby time is 14.6 days. It weighs in at 6.21 ounces. And it actually has some heft to it. I mean, this is definitely metal. I don't know. I think this is plastic, but it definitely has a bit of heft. Obviously, the fact that it has a slide out keyboard adds a little bit to the thickness. It is 0.6 inches thick, which is, I actually have the Samsung Focus right beside me here, so I can actually do a little size comparison. So the Focus is on top, and the LG Quantum is below. So as you can see, the Focus is definitely thinner, but you know, I got to give props to LG. This, for being a slider keyboard device, this is actually not too thick at all. I'm used to seeing slider keyboard devices being, you know, a little bit thicker. It is 4.7 inches this way by 2.34 inches this way. It has 16 gigs of internal storage. Huge props to LG for doing that. The Samsung Focus only has 8 gigs. 8 gigs is just ridiculous and weak. 16 gigs is actually usable. I really want to see 32 gigs. Hell, I want to see 64 gigs, but 16 gigs is certainly way better than 8 gigs because 16 gigs is actually moderately usable. It's a quad-band GSM phone, so it supports 850, 900, 1800, and 1900 megahertz bands. It is, of course, a 3G UMTS HSDPA phone, so that means it supports the 850, 1900, and 2100 megahertz bands. It will also work on Edge, you know, GPRS if you're in like a 2G area and you have no coverage. It, of course, has built-in Bluetooth 2.1. It has Wi-Fi built in. The display size, and this is maybe one of the slight negatives about this phone, although it really depends on what kind of a phone you're looking for. The screen size is only 3.5 inches. If you're used to a phone that has a 4-inch screen, like the Samsung Focus, you'll see that, you know, there's actually a pretty sizable difference here. I'm used to using the HD2, which has a 4.3-inch screen, if memory serves. So going down to a 3.5-inch screen feels a little bit small. Now, this is the same size as the iPhone screen, and you might be saying, well, you know, if it's good enough for iPhone users, it's good enough for every other user. But I'll be honest, I'm a big fan of devices that have larger screens. So I'll be interested to see once I start using this device, if, you know, I feel like the screen is a little bit too small. It is 800 by 480 resolution. I'm going to go ahead and power this bad boy on here, and we'll see if it actually has a charge. Let's hope so. So this is the power button up here. Aha! We have liftoff. All right. So up top here is the power button. Here's the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. As I mentioned, this is the sync charge port. There's kind of nothing here. There's nothing on the bottom. There's this is the dedicated camera button. This is the volume up down button. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to peel this off, and so we can kind of see the back here. So in terms of fit and finish, I gotta say I really like the way this phone looks. So this is metal. It's you can see a bit of an I don't want to say etched, but it's got a slight pattern to it, which I think is really classy. It doesn't really seem to mean, well, it's kind of a fingerprint magnet, but it's not nearly as bad as a glossy surface. And then I really like this. This is essentially sort of a, well, it's sort of soft touch plastic is what I would say. But the nice thing is you can touch it and you're not leaving behind any fingerprints. So excellent job, LG, on doing that. Now, I did notice that it didn't run me through the normal setup wizard, which is a little bit surprising. And so what that probably means is that just means that this phone was maybe booted up by the PR agency that sent it to me. So no big worries there. It has built-in FM radio. It has a digital compass. It has a motion sensor, you know, an accelerometer, a proximity sensor, an ambient light sensor. The camera on the back, it's a 5 megapixel camera. It does have a little flash. If I was going to guess, I'd say some sort of an LED or maybe like a xenon flash or something like that. Yeah, and there we go. So this is the device. What's kind of interesting with the keyboard is that the Windows Phone 7 home screen doesn't actually have a landscape mode. So if you do this, you notice that the phone doesn't switch over. So maybe a bit of a downer. And yeah, so here's the screen. Overall, I would say the screen looks nice and crisp. You saw what I just did there. I tapped the LG button to go back home, and the reason why that's kind of funny is that on the other Windows Phone 7 devices I've used, like the Samsung here, the Windows button is right here, smack in the middle, And on the LG, they've actually moved it down here. So not a big deal for anyone that buys this phone. You'll quickly get used to it. But if you're someone like me that uses a few different phones, automatically you'll sort of try to do that. So, not bad. But yeah, there we go. So this has been my first impressions video of the LG Quantum. I'm going to use this phone. I'm going to pop my SIM card in it. I think it's unlocked, but if it's not, I'm going to have to get it unlocked because, of course, I'm in here in Canada. I'm not actually on the AT&T network, but I'm going to be reviewing this phone. You can see that AT&T has added a couple things. We have the AT&T Navigator, we have AT&T Radio, and then there's also this AT&T Uverse Mobile. Now, here's something that's kind of interesting. I'm just going to kind of cancel that. I've heard Microsoft say that you can uninstall applications if you want, even if they've come from the carriers. So, you know what's funny? I'm actually not 100% sure how to uninstall apps. How about if I press and hold, okay, and then I uninstall? Do you want to uninstall this app from your phone? Yes. That, my friends, is awesome. It's a little bit hard to understand if you haven't, had a phone that's come from a carrier that's not your own carrier, and you've got a bunch of stuff on your phone that you can't actually use, and so you don't really need it. And this stuff, it can add value if you're a customer of this carrier. But since I'm actually not an AT&T customer, well, let's be honest, there's not a real big reason for me to have this stuff on my phone. The other interesting thing about the LG Quantum is that it has Play 2. This isn't going to work, of course, but Play 2 is essentially if you have a DLNA-compliant device, you can actually stream definitely photos, I'm pretty sure audio, and then I'm pretty sure you can also stream videos. And so this actually allows you to stream content from your phone to a compliant device. How well does it work? I have no idea. I don't have a DLNA-compliant television set, so I won't be able to test that, but hopefully I can find something that I can actually test it with, and I can tell you whether or not that this feature works. But yeah, there you go. So this has been Jason Dunn from Windows Phone Thoughts. This has been a unboxing and first impressions look at the LG Quantum. At first glance, it seems like a very capable, very useful phone. The keyboard seems quite usable. I'm a little bit unsure about whether or not this is going to be kind of a big enough screen for me, but 3.5 inches certainly isn't too small. It seems like it's a decently bright, vibrant screen. And yeah, I'm looking forward to using this device as my daily device and seeing what it's like using this particular Windows Phone 7 device. So thanks again to LG for sending it to me to check it out. Again, there's going to be a contest, so stay tuned for that. You're going to want to watch Windows Phone Thoughts for that contest, although I will try to mention it here.